hot, hot, hot. Hello. Welcome to the No Life Digital Tech Gaming Culture Podcast. Today, not much. We got some gaming stories to talk about, a couple gaming stories. We're going to talk about the new cameras, and that's pretty much it. We're still kind of in this boring quarantine period where there's not much gaming tech news going on. We're going to jump into
cameras.
Yes, the camera stuff is fun. That's going to be fun. In terms of gaming, we're waiting for Ghosts, which we'll talk about, and then until Cyberpunk, I don't know. And then we're just kind of beat. But nonetheless, let's jump into it. Hello, co-host. Hello, chat. Hello, Twitch. Hello, No Life Digital listeners. All right. So maybe before. I don't know. What have you guys been up to? Anything interesting? Anything fun? Playing anything new? I haven't been playing nothing new. Still been playing Path of Exile. Now I'm playing Diablo 3 on Switch. And
I need to get back into Path. I still need to, honestly, The only thing I've done is work for this week and then constantly worry about this future state of World of Warcraft.
Why? What's going on there?
Well, no, there's a new expansion at the end of the year, which has a lot of really good-looking things and then a lot of really good-looking opportunities for Blizzard to fuck up. So it's
that always the case?
If you do it right, it'll be really great, but you don't have this track record.
What about you, chat? Anyone in the chat been playing anything new? I need I need something new to play. I've been looking for some story-driven games, something around 10, 20 hours, looking through my backlog. I was playing
Ghost of Shima?
Yeah, definitely waiting for that. That comes out Friday.
Celeste?
Yeah, I did. I played Celeste. I didn't get very far. I might have played maybe 5 hours of it. I don't know how long the game is, but I did play it.
It's very character-driven, so.
Yeah, I did enjoy. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it as a character-driven game, but I guess it is.
Depends on how far you got.
Yeah, I probably put in like a good 4 or 5 hours, just ripping through levels. It is a fucking great little platformer, isn't it? Someone said just Warzone or Rust. I should start playing Warzone again. I really did enjoy my time with Warzone. Warzone has been a blast. Is there anything new in Warzone? I don't think there is. I don't know. I could be wrong though. Last time I played it was maybe 2-3 months ago. What about Apex? Anything new going on in Apex? It's probably all new by the last time I played.
They just finished their limited time event for with the reintroduction of Armed and Dangerous Shoddy Snipers. They're finishing up their story-based event right now, and then there were leaks that there's a new limited time event coming that's a play on the Shadow one they had a couple months ago. So
where you dropped it like anywhere?
Yeah, so then that's going to be campfires. They introduced mobile respawn beacons into the game, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing where the end of their current narrative is going, because they're teasing a lot of the Titanfall 2 villain into the game. Whatever the robot was from TF2.
Interesting.
But Titanfall 2 is a really good game.
So they're going with this still, like that's in the same universe type of thing?
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely in the same universe. They have a ton of lore that they're building on, and it's taken them a while, but now that they're actually finding this narrative they want to tell with each season and each story, it's actually, I think, getting better. But
yeah,
it's still, at the end of the day, a battle royale that hit its peak popularity very early, and then they weren't able to maintain that peakness.
Well, speaking of which, my favorite battle royale, PUBG, is basically dead. It's really sad. I mean, maps are just filled with bots now, and like they're terrible bots, and it's just it's kind of sad to see the game basically dead in the water. and seeing like top streamers like Wacky Jackie playing it, and then just dealing with like 30 bots a game, and it's just like, oh man, what? That's an end of an era right there. Cartesia's been playing Anthem. That's amazing. I was playing. I last time I played Anthem it was probably like 2-3 months ago. And what's good? Is anything new going on in Anthem, or is it still? Have they updated anything? I know that that game is pretty much on life support. It could be gone any minute now, but it is like it's got like a good skeleton. That game could be really good. They just they gotta fix a lot of shit.
And this is why it's okay to delay games. Just
Yeah,
delay your fucking game.
yeah. What I did do is watch the movie Palm Springs with by the Lonely Island team, starring Andy Samberg and Christina. What's her name? Molini or something? Let me see. Melody. Kristen Melody and Andy Samberg. And it's like this fucking awesome movie. The way it's done is like this weird take on Groundhog's Day. So this guy's like stuck in a time loop. You don't really know what's going on, maybe like the first half an hour of the movie, and the way they'd introduce it to you is really clever. And if you're looking for like a fun, good, like funny kind of rom-com style movie, it's excellent. It's actually an excellent movie. I highly suggest you check it out. It's over on I don't know what it's on. I just saw it on Apple TV and we just threw it on, and me and Kate really enjoyed it. It's really, really good. So I did that, and that's pretty much it. We're going to talk about this new piece of tech that I got in. But in terms of gaming and movies and culture, I haven't started my Marvel marathon yet. But I think I'm going to go, instead of in universe chronology, I'm going to actually go in time of the movies that were released. So whatever the movies, just in the time of release. And I'm probably going to start that this weekend and just rip through a bunch of them. Probably going to watch like 5 or 6 in this weekend. We'll see.
Just don't watch the cooking show.
The
On
cooking
Disney
show?
Plus. There is a cooking show on Disney Plus.
What is it
It's
called?
Terrible.
What is it
I don't
called?
know.
I need to know.
Watch
Let's
like an
see.
episode of it, and it's like super weird. It's like 5 families pitted against each other, but like they're not equal at all. The entire family has
Is
to
it called
cook.
Be Our Chef?
Maybe like the entire family has to cook, and they're all pitted against each other, and they all have like challenges too. So like there'll be like a second challenge where like one of them has to do something for 10 minutes or something to like delay them, but you'll have a family who's like got an 8-year-old and a 14-year-old versus a family who's got like 2 3-year-olds who are sitting there attempting to cook, and it's just like, what is this, dude? Like, what?
Oh man, that doesn't sound.
It's
Smart.
weird, dude.
Is it
And
fun? Is it a fun show? Is it good, or is it just dumb?
No, it's just
just
dumb
dumb.
in my opinion. I don't know. Wasn't a fan. It seemed really weird.
All
And
right.
it's all like recreating Disney food, which seems like a good concept. And they're trying to win a trip to Disney World or something. So I'm sure if you ever win the show, you're never going to get your prize.
All right.
No. Disney Plus itself's interesting. It's been a weird thing having it.
I think it's worth it just for the Caesar backlog. I love Caesar Milan, and he's got all his stuff on there.
That's really good on it. I mean, all the like the actual movie stuff is really good, and like some of the old shows is good, especially if you like movies. Like a lot of their documentary stuff's kind of decent too, or like
Yeah.
good-ish.
Yeah.
But like their originals that they're trying to come out with, like
Yeah, I haven't seen many of
Just-
them. I haven't seen many of them.
just stick to like Hamilton and like the movies.
Oh,
and, like, other
yes.
stuff like that.
Speaking
but
of which-
don't bother with the like new cooking show. It's not good.
Have you seen Hamilton? Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you did, because you are
Yes.
you guys are in the thespians.
Yeah. So
Um,
for those who don't know, my girl does production work at a higher level for theater and movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So-
did you actually go
Of
see
course I've seen
Hamilton?
She has, I haven't.
Yeah.
So I've only seen the movie version. I liked it. I liked it a lot. The movie's really good from like a theater standpoint. It is also though, it's cool to me to see a show like that because it is a lot better than going and seeing Music Man for the 12 millionth time.
Yeah.
Like that's impressive as shit, and I like the idea and concept of it. but it's also a show I never want to see without a Broadway cast.
Oh
Never.
yeah.
Never.
That would make
Like
sense.
the entire basis of that show is presented on like this fucking really good actor can do some really awesome stuff with their voice. Like that's the presence of the show. Don't see that without a good cast.
Yeah. I think that would be something that I would want to go see, because I did put it on for like maybe 10 minutes and I was like, I don't know, this isn't for me.
It is yeah. No, it's still a musical.
Yeah.
Musicals suck. Like
Yeah.
honestly, they do. It's one of the better musicals I've ever seen. It's still kind of really boring. It's still a little too long, but a lot of it's impressive. And like for a musical, it's a good musical, but it's still a fucking musical.
Yeah, you got to be into the music. It's not like a Matt and Trey. What was the one they did? Book of Mormon style play. It's a musical
it's not a
Rent
comedy
style.
either,
That's
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just like, all right, this isn't working out. But that is something that I would be interested in go seeing, because I do like plays. I've seen a few plays and I've always enjoyed my
If
time.
you ever get the chance to like actually see it, I think it would be way better than watching it on
Yeah.
film.
Yeah, I
But like
agree.
seeing some of it is like this is like technically a lot of the stuff they're doing is pretty cool to me.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I wish I had the background know-how to spot that stuff out. Might be more into it. What about you, Doobie? You watch anything new?
Not really. I really haven't watched TV in forever.
Just playing
I
games?
need to get around to getting back to Netflix and Disney Plus. I got to finish The Mandalorian still. I think I caught like half of it. I still need to watch the other half. I got to catch the last season
You're
of
right.
Castlevania still.
Mandalorian is also good. There's your other original on Disney Plus you're allowed to watch.
I want to watch
Yeah.
the documentary series with Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking
That's
about.
been on my radar.
Yeah.
But other than that, just kind of more of the same.
Yeah. I mean, at least for me and over here in Philly, we're in like this, everyone's like bugging out for quarantine. It's just been so long. And it just
I
feels like
will-
every day is the same.
I will tell you what I have been rewatching.
Oh, you've been
Um,
rewatching. You're a
I'm
rewatcher.
rewatching. So the Zach Braff and Dama Faison of Scrubs have a podcast where they rewatch the Scrubs episodes in order, and then they do like an hour and a half long show afterwards, where they kind of just talk about the episode, or they talk about tales from the set, they talk about all the different people who worked on Scrubs, and so I've been rewatching Scrubs and listening to the podcast after, and that's actually been really interesting. They're already in season 2 now. And they actually had a special episode of their podcast about the history of blackface in Scrubs,
Oh, blackface and
which
Scrubs.
is really interesting.
There's a history behind it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean-
amazing gaming experience. Definitely.
Yeah,
one
so
that
like they've
everyone
had
should-
guests on where
should-
they've had John C. McGinley on, Sarah Chalk, Judy Reyes, who plays Carla. They had Bill Lawrence on, who's the creator. He's also the guy behind Clone High, which was another fantastic show.
Yeah. Scrubs was good, man. To me, Scrubs was
Like-
like a great like hangover show.
It's my favorite sitcom.
Oh yeah, you like it that much?
Yeah, it does such a good blend. It does what Futurama also does, which is why I think Futurama is one of my top 3 animated programs. It does a great job of, in a short 22-minute episode, hitting multiple strings of storytelling, character development,
Yeah.
mixing comedy and seriousness, and especially for Scrubs, remaining actually medically accurate a lot of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I always enjoyed it. Like usually, because it was every time that I watched it was on like a Sunday morning for like 7 hours. So when you're just
Dude, when
vegged out,
when it would be on Comedy Central,
Yeah.
like after school for like 3-hour blocks.
yeah, just throw on some Scrubs, and you didn't have to know everything because everything was contained in each episode. It was pretty good. I don't think I ever like watched Scrubs. Like I don't think I've ever like sat down and went from like episode 1 to episode 10. It's always been like 6, 38, 2, which is a
Yeah,
good
that was
way
the
to do
glory
it.
of that shows you could kind of jump in a lot of the time. There's a few episodes here and there that were like a bit of like an overarching story for a few episodes.
Yeah, but you could catch up to them. Like
Yeah.
you'll just know. You just they did.
Yeah, they did a
good
great job of recapping like what was going on if they were doing that.
Do you remember the era of Zach Braff? That whole era, like the indie era. Zach
Garden
Braff
State.
and Garden State, and man, how long ago was that? Was that like over 10 years ago?
Garden State had to be like 06 or 07.
Every
Or
time we
maybe
do this
05
pod,
earliest.
it was 04.
Was it really 04? Wow,
It
I thought it
was
was later than that.
04.
I don't
Wow.
know why. I just have never been able to take Zach Braff seriously.
Because he's a goof,
Like, ever.
dude. He's just a
I mean,
goddamn
yeah,
goof.
he is, and he's a good actor. I've just never been able to do it. And like, okay, so looping back to earlier, where my girlfriend is currently working is actually the school Zach Braff went to, and that's like one of their big high profiles. Is Zach Braff went here?
Oh, really?
Why? Like, why is this a? I don't get it. Like, why is this your like call-in card? Is like, Zach Braff went to our school. You should come. Give us 10 grand for his summer break. Like, we trained Zach Braff. No, dude. And it's weird too because they also like Natalie Portman went there. It's just like, I'm sorry, Natalie Portman's way better than Zach Braff.
Yeah, by like 1,000.
But you're using this as your marketing material. As Zach Braff went here, dude. So
He is just a goofball. He's kind of like I don't know. He's kind of like, what's his name is now? The guy from Silicon Valley. That's kind of how he reminds me. Middleditch.
Middleditch?
Yeah, Thomas
Middleditch, yeah.
Middleditch. He's kind of reminds me of like that kind of character. But that era was like pretty legit. That Garden State, Zach Braff era, Scrubs, Postal Service. That was when that album came around. All right,
Oh, it's still one of my favorite albums of all time.
Give Up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good shit.
And not just because, what's the song that everyone knows?
Such Great Heights.
Yeah, everyone knows Such Great Heights. That's not even the best song on that album.
No, it's not. Their best song's not even on that album at all, in my opinion. All right,
Fair point.
let's go to some news. Enough with the Zach Braff. What's he been up to? All right, enough with the Zach Braff.
Doing a podcast is what he's been up to.
Isn't everyone, huh?
Everyone's doing a podcast.
Death Stranding is getting. It's been released on PC, correct? Isn't it? It's released
I don't
now.
think it's out yet. It is out now.
Let me see.
I was watching somebody play it earlier on Twitch, so we're sponsored, but
Maybe it's gonna be released any day now. I don't know. PC on Steam. Let's see. Yes, it is released. So you can pick it up over on Steam if you want. If you want to go play, I will remind you, it is not an action game. It is a transporting game where you take a backpack. It's a pretty fun game for what it is.
I might buy it though because
Because now it's
I
on
can
PC.
then do the walking simulator in 4K with DLSS.
Oh,
and
yeah.
ray tracing.
Well, that's what we're going to get into. There was some...
So if I'm gonna do a walking game, it better be fucking pretty.
This is very, very promising because they're using the Decima engine, which is the same engine that Horizon Zero Dawn uses. And their DLSS 2.0 is phenomenal. So this is a video that comes right out of NVIDIA showcasing Death Stranding's DLSS. And you can just tell the quality of the 4K jumps as well as the performance of the 4K jumps. Remember, the DLSS utilizes like machine learning to do some like really legit upscaling for 4K. That way it's not taxing your computer as hard, but it's still providing you the visual clarity that you would expect from like a high ultra 4K look. And this is coming from a 2060, so this game is running 4K above 60 frames. Quality mode, whatever that is, on a 2060. That's pretty damn good performance for a AAA title. Mind you, again, this is running the Decima engine, which is a great gaming engine. Horizon ran beautifully on PlayStation, but now you can run it over 60 frames per second, whatever it's going to be handled. So I'm very excited to see what Decima does with Horizon on PC. This is very promising. And if you want more full breakdown, Digital Foundry has their video up, and they say this is the upgrade we've been waiting for. They've had a lot of really good. They've been talking about a lot of good ports recently, so you can tell like this is legit. They did a legit one.
That does give me hope because this, like, I'm not gonna go buy this anytime soon, but Steam sale when it's $15-$20, hell yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
So I need something.
$60
I need-
now.
Yeah, I'm not buying it right now. Fuck that. But like, I am still waiting for that game outside of Control. That's like giving me a reason to
For
have an
DLSS?
RTX card
Yeah.
or DLSS, anything.
Yeah.
Anything NVIDIA's done in the past 3 years.
Yeah, it looks promising. And if more stuff is this promising, then I will definitely be upgrading to. I'll be upgrading my card pretty soon. I'm still on the Pascal as well. CeeLo says people don't waste your time or money. I would just caution you that the game is not for everyone. I would definitely say that. I had a good time with it, but I also don't miss that $60. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, it's not, to me, it's a very minute experience. It's a game that I'm going to remember forever, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing yet. It wasn't like, it's not, I didn't have the time of my life playing it like I did Red Dead or like I did with Last of Us 2. But it's certainly a fucking interesting game for like the first 10 hours, and you'll find out if you're hooked or not after that. Wow, it looks really fucking good on PC, huh? Look at that.
Yeah, that's like the main reason why I want to try it is like I'll wait till the Steam sale, $20 or something, and then just
Oh yeah.
sit there, get drunk or high or something, and then just be like, "This is beautiful," and that'll be the game.
For $20, I would definitely say this game's worth it for $20. I would definitely say this game's worth it for $20. Maybe
'Cause
25, $30.
100%, you know that this is gonna go. It's Steam. It's gonna eventually, like by winter, it's gonna be $30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No game stays full price on Steam.
Especially
forever.
Kojima games. They seem like they drop in value pretty quickly. Everyone gets hype over them. They play them like in the first couple days. Like, you can get Metal Gear Solid 4 or Metal Gear Solid 5 like a month later for half the price. So yeah, I would agree. Maybe wait for sale. But there you go. DLSS looks pretty damn good and promising. Ubisoft update to the Ubisoft allegations against high-profile executives. What were the allegations? I don't remember. These 3 or more high-profile Ubisoft executives have resorted to resigning as serious misconduct allegations continue to mount amid ongoing investigations.
Was there also like a Ubisoft Direct thing this past week?
Oh,
too?
you're right. There was.
That got leaked to hell.
It did get leaked to hell, but this is also real. This makes this timing like even more worse and interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we should talk about Ubisoft Forward. All right, we'll get into that next. So not long ago, French publication specifically highlighted Serge Haskett, who was accused of partaking in drugging employees and laughing when Vice President Tommy Francois, who is still suspended last time we checked, forcefully kissed a colleague. In one allegation, Haskett, who was considered one of the most powerful Ubisoft executives until his resignation last week, was accused of having an outburst where he claimed that another employee was a bad fuck, and he needed to be effed from behind, and needed to be effed from behind for her mind to open. What the fuck? He also accused of forcing employees to drink at a diner and forcefully blocking a woman in an elevator, among other frequent misconduct. Jeez, crow. In a letter publicly released yesterday, Ubisoft said Haskett has chosen to resign. Oh, he chose to resign, I'm sure. And interim CEO Yves Guillemette will personally take his role. However, this comes as little consolation to folks who have pointed out that Haskett was very close to Guillemette and believed that the CEO was aware of his right-hand man's actions the entire time. Elsewhere, Ubisoft Canada Studios manager Yanis Mallet stepped down. According to the company, allegations have come to light against multiple employees in Canada, making it possible for Mallet to continue serving. Ubisoft is also in the process of replacing... Oh my god, this company is also in the process of replacing HR exec
This is international.
Cecil Cornett.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah. According to the letter, she will willingly choose to step down in the company's best interest. However, previous reports have highlighted how Ubisoft's HR department was complicit in ongoing abuse, as a lot of this HR stuff is. Quote, Ubisoft has fallen short of its obligation to guarantee a safe and inclusive workplace environment for its employees. This is unacceptable, as toxic behaviors are a direct contrast to values on which I have never compromised and never will. I am committed to implementing profound changes across the company to improve and strengthen our workplace culture moving forward as we collectively embark on a path leading to a better Ubisoft. It is my expectation that the leaders across the company manage their teams with the utmost respect. I also expect them to work to drive the change we need. Blah, blah, blah. Pretty intense situation going on. Okay. Yeah, get rid of all these guys. Don't need them. All right, moving to Ubisoft Forward.
Actually, that's You want to talk about culture? You know your culture's fucked when it's not just one studio.
Yeah, it was across like
Your entire
multiple
company.
studios.
It's
It's literally
internationally.
everything.
And it
Yeah.
was execs and HR. I mean, that's like
Holy,
very toxic. Very, very toxic.
holy fuck.
Oh yeah, we should talk about Patreon too. I talked about it today. Ubisoft Forward, so there's a few games. You can go, I think you can still get Watch Dogs 2 for free. If I'm not mistaken. Let's double check here. Which I do think is you can still, I think you can still get it for free. Basically, it was they broke their servers. It shut down for a while because everyone was trying to download this game. Okay, well you can get it for $10 now, so it's not free, but it's $10. I would say the game is worth it for $10. It's a pretty damn fun game. I wouldn't say it's worth it any more than $10 though, not now. So Ubisoft Forward, we got to see a new Far Cry. Far Cry 6 is announced with who's that guy? Giancarlo Esposito from Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad as the villain, who looks pretty fucking badass. I don't want to play anything here. Come on, you're making me put my date in.
I know. I
Jesus
was trying to watch
Christ.
it too, and they're actually age verifying to watch the trailer.
I know. I just want to show some screenshots. It looks pretty fascinating. There's some interesting stuff going on.
I mean,
Giancarlo
it's
Esposito looks cool.
it's Far Cry. It'll probably have a really good story, but it's gonna be repetitive as fuck.
Yeah, let's hope that they add some new elements in this game. Honestly, it's looking at what the company's going through. It seems as if they're in a bit of a bind here. I don't know if we're gonna get a new innovative Ubisoft game anytime soon, but at least you get like a new chapter, a new Far Cry chapter. Is pretty cool. Giancarlo Esposito as the bad guy. Like Far Cry bad guys have always been great. What was the one Far Cry 3 with the guy from Better Call Saul? Right, that's the. What's his name? Bad guy. What's the guy's name? Yeah, Montenegro. This guy. He plays as the bad guy, and he's also in Better Call Saul, and he's excellent. He's an excellent bad guy, and now you get the other bad guy, Giancarlo Esposito, who plays what's his name in Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad.
Gus.
That's it. Gus Fring.
Yeah, it was the only episode I ever watched was the end of Gus.
Oh wait, you haven't seen those shows?
I never watched the show. I never watched Breaking Bad. I walked in.
Oh wow!
I walked in was at the season 4 finale. I think I walked in on my friends watching it. I was like, oh, yeah, this looks interesting. Oh, that guy. So what happened to his face?
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe you should
then
watch it.
Then I saw the beginning of episode 5, and it was playing dubstep, and I was like, is every episode like this with the dubstep? I don't like this.
No. Honestly, I would suggest you check out Better Call Saul. I think it's better than Breaking Bad, and a lot of people agree who watch Better Call Saul.
I mean, I'm a big Bob Odenkirk fan, so
I think you'll like Better Call Saul. Breaking Bad is kind of much to get into. There's a lot. Like it's an investment that you need to make into the show. But Better Call Saul is much easier to get into, and in my opinion, it's much better. Like I think it's much better. It's so good.
Can we talk about Tom Clancy's Elite Squad?
Sure. I don't know anything about it. Let me take a look.
how about the fact that Sam Fisher will never have his own game ever again? He'll be only a guest star, especially in mobile. Tom
It's
Clancy
just what you
games.
wanted. It's XCOM with Tom Clancy characters for your phone.
Dude, that sounds fucking awesome, bro. I'm gonna give you
So
a
you
fucking
realize it all looks
explosion.
like Fortnite.
Oh no, it
Yeah,
does.
when they-
Oh,
when
it
they-
does.
When they introduced Sam Fisher, I was like, fuck.
You're right. It does look like Fortnite.
We're never
Tom
getting
Clancy.
another Splinter Cell game ever again.
You know what? We should stop.
Never happening.
I'm gonna make a statement right here. We should stop saying it looks like Fortnite. We should start saying it looks like Team Fortress, because Team Fortress invented that look, and everyone just says it looks like Fortnite, but no, Team Fortress made that look up.
I can agree with that.
It's unfortunate that it does look like Fortnite Team Fortress, because I'm into that idea. I think that's a cool idea. You know, the mobile XCOM, and then hey, skin it with Tom Clancy, whatever. But we'll see. I guarantee you this is going to be mobile gated to hell.
Oh yeah, because it's free to play. So
Yeah,
you know
it's-
it is.
Oh god, these Ubisoft, man.
Let's see. There's new Assassin's Creed.
Yep, Valhalla.
Assassin's Creed. I still honestly like. This does look cool.
Yeah. I think it looks cool too.
I will probably hate it because I'm not the biggest Assassin's Creed fan, but they're really trying to get me, dude. Like the last three, like when all of these
Like
settings,
Rome
this
and then
was so
Valhalla.
cool. Exactly. I love ancient cultures. Like that is my shit. Is sword and board, you know what I mean? So they're trying, dude, and it looks so good. Like all of the ancient Greece stuff and all of that. Now we're going to Scandinavia. Like,
And it does look
oh, it looks
incredible.
good.
Like it looks like Odyssey, but with the graphics scaled up a little bit more, and then you add on the Valhalla skin. It's much more brutal. I love how brutal the game looks. Like the fights.
They're really like that. Basically, they're just going through like Age of Empires 2 unit packs, and I want to play that.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed Odyssey. And the one before that I thought was great too. They were very similar, and this does look similar to Odyssey as well. So I'm hoping that there is just some extra element that makes the hook a little bit more. Like I don't know, just something in the combat, or add something to the stealth, or add something to the give me something extra on top of that, because what they have is like excellent world building, fun enough quests, a really fun gameplay hook, which is like that action RPG gameplay hook, great combat, and that's enough to keep me playing and keep me playing and keep me playing. Give me better loot, give me some new intricate systems that I can dig into. Like all I need is like one intricate loot system, and I'm a happy gamer. I'm not this isn't looking to blow my mind away, but if you can hook me for a good 20 to 30 hours, then I think my $60 is well spent. It looks like a lot of people disagree. It's almost got half. Well, I don't know why YouTube does this. It looks like it's 50-50, but it's not. It's 2 times more likes. So anyways, it looks like there's a lot of people that, are kind of upset with this trailer, I guess. I don't know why, I guess. Let's look at the comments. The thing that bugs me, they just talk all over the dialogue or stuff that's supposed to get you interested and immersed into the game. The cuts and skips are fine, but ignoring your game to elaborate about the game is a bit weird. Oh my, this is why no one reads YouTube comments. We live in a society where stomping is more powerful than a sharpened axe. Okay. Anything of substance here.
Yes,
Holy hell, the character
ever heard
animations
of
are
any
god-
Marvel movie.
Someone says the character animations are god awful. I don't know if I agree with that. From what I've seen, it looks pretty good. That was a little goofy. I don't know. All right, it's just people complaining about games. What's new?
Yeah, but especially Ubisoft, dude. This is fun. Like,
yeah.
we have their new Overwatch clone.
Yeah, what's this?
Hyperscape.
Oh, right.
I mean, it's not an Overwatch clone, but it's fast-paced action shooter that's free to play.
Fast-paced action shooter that apparently has like Twitch chat involvement, which is like crowd
Doesn't that
control.
sound great?
I mean, it works in some games with like the extension crowd control, which lets users like pay bits to buy coins. In which case, like for games like Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time, where you can screw with the player and take away hearts. But I don't know how I feel about this.
Can I have Summit play and then spend $20 to make him play the worst character every day? Every day. Like that sounds amazing.
Have a game that you want to be competitive, but make Twitch chat control things.
Yeah, dude.
From what I've seen on Twitch, it looks kind of weird. Like there's a lot of like skyscraper jumping. This is gameplay
like
from
the
War
setting
Owl.
seems interesting. It seems almost like, I say Overwatchy, but it's like a little bit of Overwatch, it's a little bit of Apex, it's a little bit of Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's the next of all of those kind of molds of like, here's lots of movement and fast pace.
Yeah.
But we'll see if it's actually good.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was watching it, and I watched it for like a good 10 to 20 minutes, I had no idea what was going on. It's not like a traditional battle royale. There's a lot of different modes going on. There's a lot of weird systems that I wasn't aware of.
I mean, this doesn't seem like BR. This seems like Quake.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really weird amalgamation of games here, and I'm not opposed to that. I want to see more of it. It looks fascinating. Is that free to play? And I'm not sure. I know there's a
free
beta.
to play. Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty cool, I guess.
Honestly, it looks better than what was the other one that just came out recently that I hate?
Valorant, yeah, it does look
Yeah.
better than Valorant. I
I
would
was
looks
like
better than
Rocket
Valorant.
Rocket League, the new EA one.
There's a new
That thing
Rocket
looks
League.
awful. No, not it. Why don't, is it
Oh,
Rocket
the one
Arena?
oh yeah, with the rockets. It's
I
just all
can't. Yeah,
rockets.
it's Rocket Arena.
Yeah.
I know. I looked at it. It looks awful.
Yeah. All right. Well. Oh yeah, and then we got to look at a new Watch Dogs Legion, which actually looks pretty fucking cool. I'm a big fan of Watch Dogs. I think it's fun.
I definitely think that pushing that game back, especially when its release date was like what, the same day as Final Fantasy VII Remake or the same week, which would have killed that game. That game would have been dead in the water. Pushing it back was a good idea. And they said that with the additional time, they were able to refine that whole play as anyone mechanic, which looks interesting. Like I'm probably not gonna buy this game immediately, but if it reviews well and doesn't have some of the same issues Watch Dogs 1 and 2 kind of has, I might pick it up.
To me, what suffered the most in Watch Dogs 2 was how cheesy it was and how it suffers the same like Ubisoft formula thing where it's like it's really fun for like the first half, but then you're just doing the same sort of things over and over and over again, just on a bigger scale, which isn't terrible, but it's not done in the same way that like Grand Theft Auto or Rockstar does it, where they really start to add more and more to the elements of these quests, more and more to the elements of the world.
It's just Far Cry. I want to finish it at this point just to find out the
Yeah,
story.
exactly, and that's kind of the vibe that I got from a lot of them. Pretty much all the Ubisoft games that I've played recently, from Watch Dogs to Assassin's Creed to Far Cry, yeah, they've all kind of had that same issue.
So at the end of the day, though, you got to ask yourself: is there a game to be played with Ubisoft Forward now? And what I mean by that is, when you watch Ubisoft Forward, how many people were fired from the company or still work there?
Is there even a company left? Is it just all going to be free to play now because there's no company to take the profits? Okay.
I did
Brawlhalla
notice
is
that.
coming to mobile, baby.
Wow.
True, that's cool. But like, I was looking through it, and like, dude, every single one of these trailers just has some fucker I've never heard of or seen in my life. Like 3 of them just talking through it all.
Yeah, then
So I do get why people were complaining that was weird, because it's like,
you agree with that
show me
YouTube
the
comment. You agree with that YouTube commenter. So I guess there's some substance in there.
especially when your whole company's burning to the ground. For
Yeah, you don't wanna-
like I don't want to see you, dude.
I don't want to hear your fucking executives right now.
Show me
Investment
the gameplay. That's it.
Investment group calls out EA for overpaying execs, urges shareholders to vote against excessive compensation. What? CTW Investment Group has urged EA shareholders to vote against excessive compensation proposals in an upcoming annual meeting scheduled for August. In a letter penned by Executive Director Dieter Wazenegger, CTW accused the publisher of developing an addiction to special award grants. He pointed out that the company is preparing to hand out retention awards to its executives for fiscal 2020, even though they were already granted these awards in fiscal 2018, the performance period for which has yet to conclude. The letter specifically names CFO Blake Jorgensen and CTO Kenneth Moss. EA has an excessive equity granting problem, CTW argued. It has granted some of its executives a special new award before the performance period for a previous special award has even finished, on top of already high annual equity pay. The claims of retention are dubious given that there is already one special retention award outstanding, and executives at the company generally, including the 2 that received the 2 special awards, are already well compensated through ordinary course equity awards. Wow, this is pretty crazy. This letter comes weeks after CTW took issue with Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick's pay. The group urged Activision shareholders to vote against Kotick's compensation, reminding them that he continued to enrich himself after mass layoffs. According to Wazenegger, EA has also been paying out multi-million-dollar bonuses to executives amid layoffs. Hey man, they're going after him. That's pretty cool. So it seems as if that they're cooking the books a little bit, and they're trying to get paid on these special bonuses before the performance bonuses are even docked or even taken into consideration, on top of their already well compensated ordinary course equity awards.
Wow.
And-
Rich people trying to play the system to gain more wealth once firing other people? Wow.
Yeah, and then the
wow.
CEO,
Shocking.
the CEO.
Shocking that these practices happen at probably every business.
Well, what's shocking is when your investors start saying, no, we don't got money like this. You're not bringing in
Yeah.
the big fucking bucks like you used to. So you need to cool it with these multi-million-dollar bonuses to your executives. I think that's pretty cool. Are they going to take this into consideration? That remains to be seen. We probably won't know this. I don't know. Maybe we will know this. But wow, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I don't know about the EA one, but the Activision one, yeah, fuck that, dude. As someone who is still way too enrooted into Blizzard games, like, that have only gotten worse and worse and worse and worse while everyone's getting fired and this dude's taking more money, fuck him.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
yeah.
Fuck Activision. Why did that buyout have to happen? It's all been downhill since then.
Yeah, it's not been looking good. All right.
That whole merger killed me, dude.
Corey Balrog, as we know as Dad, everyone's gaming dad. God of War director prefers an increase in game prices over microtransactions. All right, this is a good topic. This is Corey Balrog's tweet. Games need to go up in price. I prefer initial increase in price to the always-on cash grab microtransaction-filled hellscape that some games have become. What do you guys agree?
In theory, I would agree with them.
Right.
Yeah, however, we know in practice they'll raise this and also have microtransactions.
Hold on,
That microtransaction money is too tempting to get rid of.
your mic's breaking up a little bit, or is that just me? Did you hear his mic breaking up, Jerry?
Yeah, I heard it too.
Oh, okay. Your mic's breaking up a little bit, Doobie.
But it also might be you because I was here seeing both of you guys fuck up earlier. It's
Maybe it's
Zoom,
Zoom.
dude.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me try something really quickly. Let me try to do this. Maybe that'll fix it. Give me a mic check real quick. Anyone?
I can't even hear him talk now.
I can hear you. You're fine. It's just Doobie's mic. Yes,
Probably
in theory. All right,
making sure
anyways, in
Zoom's-
theory.
Zoom's been fucking up because Zoom sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. But now there's a bunch of other Zoom clones that I might start checking a couple out. We'll see if there's any better ones out there.
No, I'm down because everyone and their mother's got a Zoom clone now.
Yeah, there's
Just
got to
don't
be
do the-
something better.
Don't do the weird one that's now gaining popularity in India. I doubt you've heard about this, but is on the tech world it's been kind of hilarious. One of the richest people in India just literally straight one clone Zoom
Really?
and put it out as his own. It's literally code for code. It's a 1-to-1 fucking clone of Zoom.
What's it called?
I can't remember the name, dude.
I'm gonna
It's-
have to
it's
look at that
funny,
up.
though.
Maybe we should use it just because that's fucking hilarious.
No, because it's gonna suck just as much as Zoom. It's a legit clone.
That's so funny. But yes, in theory, I also would agree prices should go up to keep microtransactions at bay. But we talked about this the other week. What's gonna happen is the prices are gonna go up, and they're gonna add microtransactions. It's never gonna go. Games are never gonna be cheaper. Oh, you're updating Destiny 2? Doobie's always doing some dumb shit while we're doing the fucking podcast. He's fucking playing Smash, playing Destiny 2.
Still can't hear you, bud. I'm sorry.
Yeah, your mic's all fucked up or something. I don't know if your mic is disconnected.
But
or
no,
something.
yeah, of course, we all agree in theory. Microtransactions will hopefully not come. But hey, if you can raise it to 70 and then lower the amount of microtransactions, I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, me too. I would take it too. Now, I would also take a price increase if even if
If it also meant no day one DLC, please God.
no day one
Please.
DLC, or even if you can just I don't know, even if there's just like a noticeable improvement in the scope of the game. Like if the game is massive, if the game has Just like a massive scope to it, incredible amount of quests, incredible amount of graphical fidelity. It's got, it runs beautifully. Like if you need that extra money to like make the game also bigger and better and more performant, I'm happy to pay an extra 10 to 15 bucks on that on top of that as well.
Mic check.
There you go.
All right, you're
yeah,
good.
you're good. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I had to.
I could tell because your
I didn't
video quality
realize-
came back too at the same time, which was hilarious.
I didn't realize Steam was gonna update Destiny 2 and throw 4 gigs on my PC.
Oh yeah.
I was trying to get Halo on my PC because Halo 3 just dropped today.
Yeah. Is it free? How much is it?
Master Chief Collection.
Oh, right,
Or if you want to buy Halo 3 separately, I don't know how much it is, but my
I
favorite
do.
all-time shooter, like that's my favorite FPS of all time. So I'm
It's $10.
definitely gonna be playing a ton of Halo 3.
Yeah, it's $10. Actually, it's probably on the Xbox Game Pass, right?
Games Pass should be.
It should be, right?
Absolutely should be.
Dude, Games Pass is so kick-ass.
But yeah, like I was saying, in theory, price increase, get rid of microtransactions would be great. In practice, they'll up the price and include even more microtransactions. That money is just too lucrative and too tempting for companies not to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is on Games Pass.
I do agree with the theory though, is we should have just rose the price 6 years ago, and then not
Yeah,
done
if you would've-
microtransactions in the first
Yeah.
place.
If
Yeah.
you would have risen the price but gotten rid of microtransactions, a lot of us would have been fine with that.
Yeah. Cotizia says, I think EA makes 26 million in a day with mobile. Are those numbers accurate?
I wouldn't be shocked. Mobile is a huge seller.
I would probably. Oh my god. I think he's right. Free-to-play mobile games under EA Sports banner have generated more than 1 billion. This is in January 2019. Yeah, so I guess they're making that much for sure.
All
Yeah,
you gotta
let's-
do is put FIFA on the phone, man.
Put FIFA in some fucking card packs, booster packs, and you're
I
cashing
hate
out.
everything, dude. Fuck all of your hut mutt modes, dude.
What sucks too is they are fun, man. They are so addicting. Oh
They're
yeah,
not. They're not. It's just gambling. It's not. No.
yeah, but I like gambling. Okay, I like
I like
opening
gambling
cards.
in Vegas. I don't like gambling on my PlayStation.
I like knowing if I'm gonna get a fucking elite Ezekiel, elite Zeke or something. You know what I mean? I think that's fun.
Yeah, go get your elite Dak Prescott.
Yeah, my elite core 98 Dak Prescott. All right, moving on. Last story here. Games Pass is awesome. Oh yeah. Oh, this is what I wanted to say too. I've been playing about 5 hours. I've gotten into it of Fallout 76 because it was on Games Pass. I probably would have never ever played that game if it wasn't for Games Pass. And I played it, and it's okay. It's all right.
Like that's what I said. Is it's fine.
Yeah, it's
I get
okay.
what people are mad, but it's also that's what I was argued at the first place was like it's not it to me it was still different than No Man's Sky because it wasn't objectively horrendous. It wasn't
Yeah.
broken. Basically, it was like it's a shit game, but it's there.
I mean, to me, it felt a little bit more of Fallout, and that's cool. I don't know how deep the systems go. I like the building. Like, I like being able to build out your stuff and getting the
The
resources
systems
to
aren't
do that.
deep. The building's the fun part. If you like the building from Fallout 4, it's fun.
Yeah.
But no, there's no deep systems really. At least last I
Yeah.
played it, but I haven't touched it in forever either.
Yeah. I think what was the big worry with the NPCs, right? I don't know what was.
Yeah, that's what I said. Is like if you would have just launched this game with NPCs, I don't think very many people would have had a problem with it like they did.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't because I was playing when I was playing. That's all I was doing was interacting with NPCs. I mean, I wasn't interacting with other players at all.
Yeah,
And I was like, imagine if this game didn't have NPCs, what would you be doing? You know what I mean?
Right. You're just playing by yourself and doing like the story quests, and mostly you're just building shit.
Yeah.
It's just a collectathon build shit.
Yeah. But it's not. I mean, I was having fun. Like, it's resource management. It does have some like fun qualities to it, and it is Fallout. It's just I would like a full Fallout game, but when it's on Games Pass like this is why I really have been digging Games Pass. Halo 3 pops on there, boom, just download it. You're in it. there's a lot of games like this that I think when they're on a platform like a Games Pass, it's harder to ignore them. It's harder to just pass them up. All right, Microsoft Double Fine acquisition allowed the studio to cut content back into Psychonauts 2. So the acquisition of Double Fine is a major boon to the Xbox manufacturer and a huge blow to PS fans. And barring this insane idea that Microsoft might do multi-platform releases, Psychonauts 2 will be the last PlayStation release from the developer. PlayStation fans will get one last benefit from Microsoft's acquisition of the studio, however. According to a recent interview with the Double Fine's Tim Schafer, Microsoft's purchase of the developer allowed the team to re-expand the scope of Psychonauts 2 after having to cut content. In a wider GameIndustry.biz article about Microsoft's strategy behind acquiring and integrating studios, including the likes of Mojang, Ninja Theory, and Obsidian, and of course Double Fine, Tim Schafer talked about how Psychonauts 2 was reaching the end of its budget, and they seem to have to start cutting a lot of content, including boss fights. And it looks like now the acquisition allows them to input some extra resources to add that stuff back in, which is pretty cool. So there you go. I guess acquisitions are good, I guess. And
I mean, that's cool. Then you kind of
Psychonauts
hope.
1.
It was good. It was a fun game.
Good. Really good game, and I'm excited for a second one. And
Tim
Schafer makes some very interesting games.
It'll be interesting. I would be excited this, but like I am happy to see this kind of story, and I want to see a little bit more like this, where it's like, all right, if Microsoft's buying out studios to produce games, like that's the knock on Microsoft right now is their exclusives suck ass because they do, or they just don't have any. So if this is them showing, hey, we are willing to try to put forth some effort to maybe get some good exclusives, yay.
I imagine if EA had bought Double Fine would have just folded.
Yeah,
it's
everything EA touches.
Exactly.
If it's not Madden or NHL, don't touch NHL 2021. That game's gonna be fucked. By the way, what do you think sports is actually gonna happen to sports games this year?
I have no idea.
I mean,
Like,
they're
do you realize
already.
how fucked some of them are?
Sports games this year will be fine. Sports games next year are where it's gonna be like,
Right.
what do we
True.
do? Because usually
This is what they do. No.
Based on the previous season.
This is what they do. They just make the game better and don't have to worry about upgrading the rosters at all. There you go. Fucking deal done.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that.
That's what they should
like
do.
that. I do wonder what is like. That's got to be an issue for like Take-Two and EA. Is like, what the hell do we do when sports stop?
Yeah.
Like
what does that
Actually,
even
I
mean
mean,
for a
let's-
contract? Like, I'm sure there has to be some sort of like
I was gonna say,
compensation.
if anything, I would imagine sports games would be even more popular with no sports.
Oh yeah, but I just mean like, what are you going to do that's new when, like, okay,
There's
so
nothing new.
NHL
Dude,
20,
here's the
21
next-
might be coming out in like 2 months, but the roster
Here's the
there's still
next
been a
big-
roster freeze since literally March of their last roster freeze.
Here's the next big thing they do. You can now pay a microtransaction to remove the fans from the game
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. Can
to make it more realistic.
Can I get the really dumb playoff schedule too?
when do I get
can I
the
pay for that
update that-
microtransaction?
When do I get the previous update to all the Maddens that can be updated to remove the Redskins name?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Can I get the microtransaction so I can win the Stanley Cup and still get the first overall pick?
yeah.
Dude, that's what me.
Not
So
salty.
talking like, what happens if the NFL just like they're trying to get a season going, but what happens if like whatever case? I don't think it'll happen. They're gonna have a season of some kind.
True.
What if they had no season? How do you do a draft for the? Do you keep the same draft
No,
order as last time? Do you have a lottery?
Well, exactly.
The
That's-
Patriots
that's-
gets number one pick. What the hell?
Yeah, true. Like that's what I am wondering is like, okay, so NHL usually comes out in September. The draft this year isn't until October 9th, possibly, and we're not going to see a Stanley Cup until October, probably.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do then? Like, honestly,
Yeah, the NHL is probably the most screwed.
absolutely
of the sports.
fucked up. Like, good on them. They got labor peace, but yes, I am a
Oh,
salty
and then
as
we get
fuck
to the
Red Wings fan.
Oh, and then we get to the bubble in the NBA, and how many players are going to break the rules in there and screw it for the rest of the league?
And I hope most of the players go well, but can I get the COVID update where half of the St. Louis Blues and Toronto Maple Leafs and Montreal Canadiens all managed to get the coronavirus?
And guess where they're playing
Dude,
the
this
hockey
shit's so
season
bad.
at?
Are they gonna add
Toronto.
they're gonna add like a COVID like injury thing where like your players can get COVID and they have to sit out for fucking 6 weeks?
That like I hope they all I hope they're all okay. But like this sports world, what the fuck? How dumb are all of you?
And I am happy that NBA is coming back pretty soon. That's gonna be
I don't
fun.
know. Part of me is like,
Oh,
the
and
same
NBA is
feeling
the
that's
dumbest
like,
of all. Seriously, if you want to talk about that, yeah, let's have our bubble in fucking Florida.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
the best
I'm
place
just
to
telling
go.
you, like, I don't know. Even if the Sixers were to win it, that title for me has an asterisk on it. Like it wouldn't
Lord.
feel as good as
The
a
Corona
real
Cup.
actual victory. It would be like the championship that like I don't want to recognize.
Yeah, but you
I'll
would rep
celebrate
that.
it, but at the same
You
time,
would
it's
rep
just
it
like-
so hard. You would
But
celebrate
at
the shit out of it.
It's just like, yeah, we won the championship, but we had to do it when COVID was a thing and some of the best players weren't playing.
Half the players were out. No.
It's like it just feels like a hollow victory.
Yeah, but 20 years later, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, this year when we had these championships, and you're never gonna mention that the Corona Cup was a thing.
Hey, at least your anti-tanking policy didn't just encourage playoff teams to tank.
There you go.
Thanks, NHL.
Yeah, the NHL is it's all wacky, man. I mean, UFC's literally just fought on an island. They had to go to their own fucking island to fight.
Yeah, the Phillies already announced that there will be no
pretty rad.
fans whatsoever in the stadiums for games.
I mean,
I think
Some-
for NFL, like the one thing that might save the NFL is the fact that they don't play more than like X amount of games. Like they play like 16 regular season games.
17 now. They upped it this year.
I think is that this year or that was next year?
It might be next year.
I think next year because this year is the addition of the 7th wild card, like the third wild card team. That's this year. There'll be 7 playoff teams. But
I don't know. I
the
stopped
fact that they only
watching
play a game once a week generally, and the fact that they're one of the most lucrative TV deals around. They really like the owners will kind of sucks that they're not going to get any money from like fans in the stands, but they're going to be making a lot of money on that TV deal, and people are going to be wanting sports to watch. So
I will
I
say
don't-
I
this-
think NFL will be fine.
I don't think any sports have to really worry about money for any time soon.
it
Maybe
depends on how big your sport is.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
some
NHL
sports
struggles.
Some
I will,
sports might
yeah,
be
I
struggling.
will say NHL at least has like some benefits going for it. Of they get to at least play in Canada, who had 100 cases of corona across the entire country in one day.
Yeah, they should just move it all to Canada. Just keep it up there. Yeah, I'm excited for sports to come back. That's for sure. It sucks not having them. It's nice having.
does,
It's nice the UFC is so rock headed that they don't give a fuck about anything. But
well, they just have it on an island.
and they do it on an island. They just don't even care. Even if they didn't do it on an island, they would have just said like, we don't even care. Whatever, fine us. Do whatever you want.
Dude, I'm still getting ready for hockey because hockey's coming back at least. And even if the NHL flops and fails, Euro hockey's coming back soon, so I can watch that, I guess.
Yeah, sports coming back is gonna be nice.
So right now I can watch NASCAR and Formula One.
Yeah, and NASCAR has its own set of issues that we have to deal with. All right, let's move on to these cameras and then get the heck out of here. So I do want to show you my.
Yeah, I still just wanted to figure that out. Of like, I think that is going to be interesting. Of what the hell happens, because half of these games might not actually have their features till months into the game's shelf life.
Keep talking.
Okay, he's gonna show you a really cool thing. It's called a Ninja 5, and I'm really jealous. So fuck you.
Yes, I got the Ninja 5. So I pre-ordered the Canon R6, which should be coming in September. Unfortunately, it might take a little while. One of the reasons why is because it is a 4K 60 camera with a flip screen, IBIS, and autofocus. That's basically all I really wanted in a camera for like the last 5 years since the A7S II. I did a little video if you want to go check it out on the channel. I talk about my reasons.
And you
why
can
I
get it with the
pre-ordered
Fuji. You can. You just can't get good lenses.
Yeah, but it's also not full frame either.
Yeah, who fucking cares?
I definitely
know.
care. Now one
All right,
of
Maddie,
the
up for you.
one of the things. Oh yeah, I'm standing for that ambassadorship. Canon, please. I pre-order all your cameras right now. One of the things that pushed me to the R6 over the R5 is the cheaper price point, obviously, but just the fact that
cards.
the SD cards as well, and just the fact that it seems as if it's more of a reliable video camera offering.
I bet, yeah, that's why I want to see more footage and actual reviews, because you even have Peter McKinnon talking about overheating now,
Yeah.
which I mean, he makes great content, but he is the biggest Canon stan alive.
Yeah.
And if he's saying it's overheating, it's overheating.
And that's the problem that I see. Like, if I'm going to get the EOS R5, which the big headline features are that it's got 8K and 4K 120 RAW in all the modes. There's no RAW on the R6. Now, those are really big additions, but I'm not going to pay an extra $200. I'm not going to pay an extra $2,000 for a 4K 120 that I can shoot maybe 10 minutes with, and an 8K mode that I can shoot maybe like 5 minutes.
It's like that. 4K is locked at 7, but rumors are it doesn't even make 7, and then it shuts off for 10 minutes, and then you can get 3 minutes.
For the 8K, right? Or are you talking about 4K?
I'm talking 4K. The 4K 120.
Oh, hold on.
It's 7 minutes. I'm pretty sure.
I have the thing here. Let's see. So there were some updated things that came out today. Maybe just.
But okay. So those are the big features of it. 8K. We've talked. Wayne and I at least separately have talked about this. It's a cool-ish feature, but we're never gonna fucking use it anytime soon.
I have no interest in 8K.
No,
whatsoever.
like I'm not. I am way more interested in 6K than I do 8K.
Right.
6K, I can at least pull like a 4K image out of it, but like, unless I am specifically shooting a wedding and want to be able to market like the ceremony as an 8K, that's the only time I care about 8K.
Yeah.
And that's literally just because then I can charge you an extra $1,000 for the wedding.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're not going to be able to watch this for 20 years anyway.
Right. And I don't think many people are going to use the 8K feature. I mean, I've seen the 8K footage.
I mean, I'd use it for the raw, but like, and then down sample it. Like, if there is sometimes I'd want to use it, but primarily, fuck no.
Yeah, but you're not, and I mean, so they say you get 20 minutes for 8K recording, 30 frames. For 4K, you get 15 minutes. Or 4K 120, you get 15 minutes. 4K 60, you get 35 minutes. If I'm getting this R5, if I'm spending the extra $2,000, it's for the raw capabilities and for the 4K 120. The 8K doesn't even come into mind. That's just an extra cherry on top if I ever wanted to use it.
You can actually make an argument that the R6 is possibly going to be a better camera for 1080p and 4K because of the sensor size.
Yeah, and it's a much smaller sensor size. There's less megapixels.
You're going to get better low light. It's
Yeah.
going to actually probably be the stronger 4K 1080p camera.
Yeah,
That's
sucks.
what I really want to see that, because no one's done that entirely yet. It's all been about 8K.
I know. I want to see
what
like
is the 1080p on the R5 Canon,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. And that was one of the things I was like, I can just get the R6, and Canon holds their value really well. If I ever wanted to upgrade to an R5, I'll just do it later, which I don't feel like I would need in a long time. It sucks sacrificing RAW, and it sucks sacrificing 4K 120, but at the time limits allotted, it's really like, whatever. You still get 4K 60, you still get double slow-mo, so it's not too big of a deal.
Really,
too big of a loss.
The only flaw, and this is, I'm also leaning R6 personally. If I were to upgrade my camera, which I'm not going to, but maybe by December things are getting a little better, I feel like comfortable putting that money in a sales going on, I'm buying an R6.
Yeah.
But the flaw of it is it's all IPB codec.
No.
And there is
anymore.
a rumor that we might be able to get all A on it.
Yeah.
Or there's what Wayne's doing.
Yeah. So one of the rumors that came out recently, one of the cons was the IPB, which there's a video that I just watched there's this guy who does the IPB
is still
all
really
eye.
good though.
Yeah, and he does a comparison, and you can't really tell the difference between the IPB and the all eye codec, especially when you're at a 10-bit 422 color science. So that's not too bad. But not minus that, they already said that they're going to come out with an all eye. They're going to add all eye to it. They're going to add some other modes to the camera. The R5 is also going to get raw capability in all the modes. The big scary thing to me is that Canon said they missed this. Like, no, you didn't miss this. This was your cripple, and now people are calling you out on it, and now you're saying it. Don't say you missed it. You don't miss all eye in every single mode. That's an actual
like how
limitation.
they missed the RP having autofocus with any EF.
Oh, yeah, we missed
about
it.
a year.
We missed 24 frames, which is the most popular frame rate that people shoot at over an NTSC. Like, no. You
For an
took it
entire
out.
year.
You took that shit out. But at least Canon, there's like a new Canon that they're just like, all right, whatever. We'll just fucking give it to you. We're not going to try to limit you because the sales definitely reflect that these days. So, and then the other thing is, to get past a lot of the recording limitations, there's heat. There's, a lot of people are going to talk about overheating. We'll get into that in a second. But what you do is you just pick up a Ninja, and now you can record in an uncompressed ProRes format at 4K 60, not have to worry about any heat, not have to worry about any recording times. And I figured, why
Which
not?
is another flaw of both of these cameras. They're still limited to 30 minutes in turn.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. So the best way to get through it is you get one of these recorders. I've always been thinking about getting a Ninja. I just never pulled the trigger on it because they are expensive. They're around $600, and
They're really great. It's a 1000 nit screen that's color accurate that you can load a LUT onto.
Yeah,
you can
there's
actually see
so much cool
everything.
stuff to it.
And then you get to record your super cheap SSD
Yes.
at ProRes.
Yeah.
They're pretty fantastic.
It's a pretty cool little machine. This little package came with this battery. It comes with like a screen protector. It comes with the SSD, 500 gigabyte SSD. The ones that like fit in there. The normal ones stick out a little bit. And I think it was around, I don't remember the price, $700, $800. So I figured I'll get the Ninja 5 now because I can use it with the EOS R. I can use it with any camera, really. And then once the R6 gets here, then I can just use it with that if I need to. And to me, that just seemed like a much better value and a much better usability case for myself, rather than spending just like the $4,000 just for the camera body when the R5 is released, as well as spending another few $100 on the SD or on the CFast cards, spending another few $100 on the grip.
Yeah.
I mean, you're pushing around like cinema pricing. So I figured, no, I don't need all that. I'll go with the R6 for now. If I ever feel like I'm going to upgrade, I'll probably upgrade to like a C200, a C100R whenever that comes out. And I think a lot of people are going to go this route. And the reason why I pre-ordered it is because I think these cameras are going to fly off the shelf. And they're already pushing back orders. So you could just pre-order it and they don't charge you until they ship it. I figure, why not? Let's get this ball rolling, because I know that this is a camera that I've been waiting for years, finally getting it. So
Yeah.
all of that aside,
sense.
I'm very happy that Canon did release. They basically gave us everything we wanted. People are upset there's overheating issues, but I think they're being overblown. Every camera has overheating issues. It's just kind of how hard you're pushing them. You got to work around your limitations. I think the only cameras that don't have overheating issues are, some of the Panasonic ones.
Well, yeah, some of the Panasonic ones are pretty good, and then Sony cameras.
And then Cine cameras, yeah.
It's size. It's how much heat.
But even like Cine cameras overheat. Like Reds overheat all the time. You have to have multiple Reds.
That's because they have this in the small, tiny, stupid box. It's physics. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with your laptop. Like your laptop overheats because it's a tiny little thing without a fan.
Yeah.
Apple.
Yeah. You need to kind of take into consideration on all that. So you do is you get like a thing that moves the battery out of the way. You get a recorder, and then you can kind of bypass all of that. And
that's actually another thing you can do with those too, is you can slap a power pack on the back too and run a dummy battery. So you can actually just like slap like a proper battery on it, and then that will also probably help with overheating.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's obviously more like a studio setup. You don't want to lug that around.
Yeah.
But,
and then for just a running gun sort of like social media camera, it's got all the great features in it. I mean, to me, these are really cool cameras. And in my opinion, I think the R6 currently is the better value.
100%.
Where it's at right now.
100%.
Yeah.
And it for things, especially if you're talking about like YouTube and things like that, like the R6 is better because we can know that the especially with ProRes, the 1080 is going to be good, but you can do 4K 120 or like 1080. You can do 120. Sorry, 1080 120.
1080 120.
Yeah, I'm talking way too fast.
And it's at a high bit rate, so you can upscale to 4K. You're not even going to tell the difference.
exactly. And then the flip side is because of the R5 being a 45 megapixel camera, you can't do 4K 1080 or you can't do 1080 120.
1080 120. I think they said they're gonna add it in there though. That's what they said.
I bet it's gonna look horrific, dude. You
Oh,
don't
it's gonna
wanna
look
stick to
like
4K.
real mushy.
Yeah.
Um,
You're running a 45 megapixel sensor trying to use like 2 megapixels while doing 120. Like,
yeah. Now, the biggest surprise to me is the IBIS on these cameras. From what I've been seeing, looks fucking incredible. I mean, it looks like
It
Olympus
looks good.
style.
no, it looks good, and that's what leads me to like, yeah, I'm interested in these cameras is just because the IBIS does look good.
Yeah.
The thing that I am a little disappointed with, and it's on most cameras once you start going wide. Man, why does the 15 have to be that fucking warpy?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks because that's the lens. You know what I mean?
It's just so yeah.
You can't go that wide with it with IBIS on. It looks fucking terrible.
Yeah, you're gonna get some warpiness going on. Just pull it into 18. 18, I think, is the widest you can go on a full frame without worrying about like wah 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 wah.
Yeah.
But the IBIS looks so fucking good. The camera quality looks great on the R5. This is just from Peter McKinnon's vlog. He's the only one that has like legit footage of these cameras right now. There's a couple other international people.
The dynamic range does look better. I think they could have taken a little bit farther, but
yeah, well, I want to see the raw image.
You can actually sit there with the camera eternally. It doesn't look like he has an ND filter on it, and you can see the sky's fucking blue.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
man, this looks really fucking good.
That's an improvement from the R, in my opinion, because the R you had to usually slap it external if you really didn't want to overblow everything.
Yeah, it does. No, the dynamic range definitely looks better on these cameras.
Yeah.
I want to see more. I knew they were gonna pull this shit where we weren't gonna see all the footage that we needed to see on these fucking cameras.
God, no, yeah.
I'm so upset.
And then
they
Sony's
didn't
going
do
to come
that.
out at the end of the month, and every Sony ambassador is going to just be allowed to push footage.
Yeah. Canon is so stupid. They did terrible marketing for these camera rollouts. The fact that they were limiting reviewers, they were saying, no, you can't publish footage. Like, just let us show the footage that you got at the place. Like, they weren't even allowing people like Gordon to just show what he was recording. They were just because it was pre-production. It's not going to change that drastically. People want to see what the IBIS is like, what the autofocus is like, and what your 4K bitrate is like. We just want to see the goddamn camera, especially if you're going to make a pre-order. It just made no sense on this rollout. And like you said, Sony's going to come out, and you're going to have all this beautiful 4K 120 footage, the highest bitrate possible, and it's going to make your camera look like shit. I guarantee it.
16-bit raw.
16-bit raw, dude. That you can view in another dimension, I guess. I don't even know where you can view 16-bit colors.
Hey, man, your C-Log 2 can only go to 14-bit, man.
Oh, what a bummer, dude. Sony's definitely
16-bit
winning.
raw, dude. Oh, fuck. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Sony alpha rumors never stop.
Yeah. Overall, I am happy with what Canon's released. I want to see more lenses. I love the 85-1.2 that they got released. They released a couple really weird prime zooms, like a 600 f11. Like, I don't care about. No one cares about those lenses. We want to see some, like, give us some weird
that
shit.
was a really interesting, kind of cool, but kind of really weird launch of that 600 and 800.
Yeah, they're like under $1,000, which is fine.
They're super cheap. And an F11 on a mirrorless, I get the theory of it working. It still seems odd, but I get the theory behind it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I still don't want to spend $1,000 on a 12-foot long lens.
12-foot long lens.
To 800.
800.
Stick a teleconverter on it.
Yeah,
dude.
go to 1600.
I'm not trying to be a creeper here, man.
1600 millimeter f11.
Stick the teleconverter on. You now got 1400, dude. Like,
yeah, and
why? At F11.
I want to see more fucking some more lenses, and I want to see some more footage of these cameras. But I'm already locked in. I will say, whatever Sony releases, if the A7S III produces a better camera, I will happily cancel my pre-order and stick with Sony. They gotta really knock it out of the park.
And they can, but
they can.
They have a lot to compete against now.
Yeah.
Like, this is why I'm happy, is like someone who's invested in either of those systems. And I know Zoom makes me look terrible all the time, but like, dude, Canon's back to an extent. Like, this, the R6 especially, but even the R5, like there you go. That's literally all we wanted was an IBIS camera with a flippy screen that actually does 4K 60, hopefully 4K 120.
Yeah.
Looks great, has a good bit rate. You actually have dynamic range because you're finally at 10-bit internal. Like
Yeah.
these were just all the things we wanted. That's strong competition when you have Canon colors, you have Canon log, which is really easy to work with.
Exactly.
There's a lot of things going for that, and then you still have RF lenses, which I agree there needs to be more, but like
They got a nice lineup. It's got a nice line. You
It's-
got
it's-
everything you need
it's-
right now.
yeah, but even outside of that, like okay, if I'm gonna spend $2,000 on a lens, I'm more comfortable spending it on an RF lens right now, just because they seem better than G Master in my opinion. Like that does seem cooler. And the flip side is, if you don't want to spend $2,000 on a lens, you still have access to all of the EF
Right.
range, and you just go get EF glass, which I already have, and then you can use the ND adapter.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's really compelling.
Yeah, they set themselves up really nicely with these releases. I mean, I think in what they did in terms of the release was smart, but I think their rollout, their marketing, and the way that they've been like communicating all of this stuff to people has been a fail. I think they oversold these cameras. They shouldn't have came out of the gate saying this is an 8K, because that's just going to set you up for failure. If they would have came out and said, look, we have a 4K 60 camera, this spec, this spec, this spec, and then on top of that 4K 120 with 8K, people would be like, whoa, what the fuck? But now everyone's
Even
focusing
6K.
on
I would've, like,
overheating, and everyone's focusing on
Yeah.
8K at 30 minutes. Like, that's even insane itself that you can get fucking 30 minutes of 8K, but you know, that's kind of where that
if
conversation
you spend an
moved.
extra like $1,500.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
a
exactly.
512 gigabyte card will only get you 21 minutes and cost $700.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking for CF Express.
My biggest critique of the camera, I wish they could have let you use the USB-C port to record to SSD. I think that would be huge.
That's the future. That's what we want for all of these cameras.
Yeah,
Like,
only
honestly.
Blackmagic does it right now, I think, because they're the only ones that
Yeah, like
record
that's
the
why I want.
SSD.
That's why I kept saying I want a Canon Blackmagic or a Sony Blackmagic. Like that's really what I want.
Yeah, so I think overall though,
Or a Blackmagic with a dual pixel autofocus. I'll take
or
that.
that,
Too, honestly.
yeah. I think overall these camera releases for hybrid shooters, for all around, just like you need one tool. These are really strong statements from Canon, and they definitely made a splash. Everyone's talking about these cameras.
And it's honestly, it's for me. It's gonna come. It's gonna live and die by IBIS.
Yeah,
If that IBIS actually is that good, and you can put it up against like Olympus or Panasonic,
that'd be incredible. From what I've
Yeah.
seen, man, it looks fucking great, and from what people have been saying, it's legit.
because Fuji and Sony are still in trash land. Let's be real.
Yeah, their IBIS isn't. It's still like you get those little micro jitters, and you know, I don't mind warpiness as much as I mind those little tiny jitters. You know.
I'm the opposite because I think you can. The micro jitters are bad, but I think you can, if you do it right, you can at least make it. You can make it look closer to like you're just using handheld footage, and I think handheld footage at least looks somewhat natural. Where the warpiness is just like, all right, I'm going through the matrix right now. Like there's nothing natural about the warp to me.
Well, I know with like using like trying to like warp stabilize some
Yeah.
Sonys, if you have like some micro jitters, like when you stabilize them, they just like the lines just like blur out, and it just doesn't look right. And I much
Yeah.
rather just like at least just like a stable thing. I mean, granted, 15 mils is fucking super wide anyway, so I really want to see
True.
some more footage on that IBIS. But like just
True.
internal 10-bit 422, 4K
Thankfully.
60, flip screen,
Thankfully.
the
it's full
wireless
frame for you.
connectivity, full frame. It's got so much going for it, and now I got a Ninja to fucking slap on it, so I don't even have to worry about any overheating or any weird codecs. All right, lastly,
Yeah. Plus, you can run. I almost guarantee you can run that ProRes faster.
yeah. Lastly, Sony rumors, dude. The A7S III, it is
Because
confirmed.
we all know the A7S III is coming out this month. Like they've just been waiting so they could try to trump Canon.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they can. Or
I'm so happy
Probably
that
not.
I'm so happy they released like a statement saying like, yeah, we're gonna release it. We're gonna talk about it right after the R5 is released. That's basically what they said, and they were
like
like,
still have it though.
yeah, what they're going to get is 15 stops in dynamic range, 16-bit raw output, 600 megabits per second bit rate, 160 base ISO with S-Log 3 instead of 1600, which is on all the other models.
I know, but
And,
I can believe they can make it lower.
oh yeah, definitely.
And they're gonna slap S-Log 3. They slap S-Log 3 on a $600 camera. They can never.
Oh, I have S-Log 3 on my RX 100.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna have a 12 megapixel sensor, so it's strictly a video sensor. It's not a photo sensor. If it is a photo sensor, it's for low light astrophotography. Like that's what these low megapixel sensors are for: video
honestly,
and low light.
And well, let's be honestly, you can still use a 12 megapixel sensor.
Oh yeah, I have.
Perfectly
I've used
fine.
my Sony A7S II to take pictures, and it looks fine.
Yeah.
It's not.
No,
I mean, it doesn't look like a. It doesn't look like a. It's not going to look like anything like a 20 megapixel or 45 megapixel, but it's usable.
True, but it also depends on what you're doing with it too, though. Like if you're taking this mostly for content that is going to be on a small screen, you don't need more than 12.
Yeah, it's adequate. I'm happy that they're doing it just because it's a 1-to-1 readout for 4K.
Yeah,
that's great.
Like for the video, that's why it's exciting.
They're saying it's going to record full HD to 240, which I believe it's going to go.
That would be huge. I do wish that is something I wish the R6 did.
Yeah, me too.
Because you can do it with the Fuji X-T4, and it is really nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
It is. So like that is a big boom too.
Yeah.
You want to use it a ton because 120 is already perfect slow-mo for the most part.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of times where it's like just having that's nice.
Yeah, like you want to record like a bullet exploding or something. Like that's where the 240 is pretty cool. 4K 120, 10-bit 422, 4K 120 RAW over HDMI, so you can go to 4K 120 RAW. I don't know any recorders that have 4K 120 RAW capabilities. Yeah, I don't know if any of those exist, but I guarantee you Atomos has something in store for that. 600 megabits bitrate. It just says that. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's for 4K. I don't know if that's for 1080.
Just show them this website because this is the beauty that is Sony Alpha Rumors, the worst of all of the camera rumor sites. Because I was talking to Wayne about this earlier. Literally, all this is they went and they took the Sony FX9, copy and pasted the specs from the FX9, and then like slightly bumped them up of what they want to see.
Yeah, made them cooler.
That's where they got the 15 stops of dynamic range. That's what the FX9 is, apparently, in Sony world. So do you really think a $3,000 camera is going to be the same as a $20,000 camera? Because I don't think so.
Yeah, 16-bit raw output. Again, I don't even know what that is. I don't know if that's a thing that even exists.
That's my favorite, dude.
I don't even know what the fuck that means, but
that's 16-bit raw dynamic range external, dude, on your HDMI, man. Why do I
wait, hold on.
$150,000 Sony Venice that's only 12-bit? Why would I ever do that?
Hold on. It's going to have the world's highest resolution new 9.44 million .EVF. Well,
and I believe that. That's the worst fucking part of all of this is like
that's the one.
Sony things. Like this is Fuji code. So Fuji used to always do this too. Of like they always make their EVF really great. And it's nice to have a really good EVF. But that was always Fuji code for we didn't put a flippy screen.
We don't have a flip screen. New kind of passive noise-free cooling system. So people are like, oh, it's going to have a fan. No, this is a passive system. I don't know why people think passive means fan. It's going to have some like heat fins or something. It'll probably have a vent, but I don't know if it's going to have a fan, which is great. I don't want it to have a fan. I personally don't. Not in a mirrorless. Not in a mirrorless.
I do and I don't. Like, I don't want a fan, but at the same time, I do believe that thermals exist. So I do kind of want a fan at the same time because I don't want it to overheat.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to try to stick it into that tiny ass A7 IV body. Like,
no, I rather take the hit on whatever bit rate or whatever quality, and to have in a mirrorless body to have the portability. Rather, if I'm gonna need that, I rather just get a cinema. It says no overheating, no recording time limits. That's going to be huge, coming right off of what we saw from Canon. Everyone's talking about Canon's overheating now. UHS 2 card support. I don't see any CFast Express, so that's a big That's a big pro. Like CFAS is a big factor. I don't have any CFAS cards. I have 100 SD cards, right? So if I'm going to invest in CFAS, I'm going to be spending like $600-700 for 2 CFAS cards. That's crazy. That's an extra.
Yeah.
That's an extra
to
camera.
record 10 minutes of footage.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And then I have to buy a reader on top of that and lug around a reader all the time. I can't just use my little SD card reader.
And it's the same thing like all storage. You can't buy the cheapest option because you know it's going to die.
No, you have to get
And
like
if-
the SanDisk or whatever. You know, you have to get the rated ones. So it's good that they're doing just SD from what the rumors say. They're saying it looks similar to the A7 R4, but it's going to have the fully articulating screen like we saw on the ZV-1, which I think they have to do at this point.
They have to do a flippy screen. I agree, but at the same time, like I did want a new body because I don't like that is something I don't like about Sony mirrorless is I don't like their bodies.
Yeah, all the Sony
I mean,
R4 does
I
is
could
just
live
make
with
it a
it.
little
I
bit
could-
thicker. That's about it. It makes it a little deeper.
Yes, it's too small almost. Like
No,
I don't know,
their
there's-
bodies aren't as good as any other camera. To be honest, their bodies are the worst bodies in the industry. Like
and, like,
even
that
the
does,
RX
that does
100s.
matter. Honestly,
Oh,
it does.
absolutely. Absolutely. Because, like, I think people, this is my biggest problem, like, reading through all these comments and these camera, like, when I get a camera, image quality isn't always, like, the most important thing. It's just versatility, reliability. I want to be able to get the shot that I need and hold it nicely and just upload it to where I need it. I'm not worried about, like, 100% 8K recording time limits. Give me 5 minutes 8K. Okay, I don't really care. Like, I want to know what's the 1080 like, what's the 4K like. As long as you give me a respectable bitrate and a body that has IBIS and good autofocus and is just reliable to use, that's all I need. And a flip screen. That's all I really need. I'm not asking much.
That will be something to see in this. Is how has Sony improved their IBIS? Honestly,
Yeah, I am very fascinated. I highly doubt it, but we shall see. Because one of the things that Canon was really hyping was like, we got a whole new IBIS system because we never did it before. We didn't have IBIS in our cameras. And now we invented this OIS hybrid IBIS that we got going on. And from what I see, it looks fucking incredible. Sony, it's harder for them because now they have to throw away their old IBIS system, retool all their machines to get a new IBIS system in there. I don't know if they're going to do that. Plus, their IBIS isn't like non-existent. So a lot of people are fine with it. I don't think they have much
it's
pressure to make it better.
It's the same world that Fuji is, where it's like for photos, it's more than good. It's more than good enough. Like it's absolutely perfect. But for video, I fucking hate it.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
if I'm gonna be honest. It's
especially
like, there's
looking at like
times-
the Olympus one. The IBIS in the Olympus camera is so fucking
Oh, yeah.
incredible.
No, like Olympus is good, but like there's something about sometimes when you're using like Sony and Fuji a little bit, but they're better than Sony at least. But like there is that jitteriness, there is that little bit of warpingness where it's just like I'd still rather put it on a stick and just get natural movement because it honestly looks better than this attempt at IBIS.
Yeah, I'm very curious to know if they add anything to that. And that's pretty much it. We should hear an announcement in late July, and it should start to ship in mid-August.
And
So
then you
coming
also
right
have
on
the
heels of
Sony.
Canon.
You have all the E-mount stuff, so you got really good glass options cheap.
Yeah, and that's the biggest pro with Sony is their ecosystem is very affordable. It's vast. There's so much accessories and E-mounts and all this kind of fun stuff with Sony cameras. Their new batteries are great. I love the new Z batteries.
They'll never do it, but hopefully finally they'll have a way that you can actually make the menu options not utter trash. Please.
Oh yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, I at least let you touch it.
But
You can't even
Yeah.
use the touch screen on the menu. It's so
Hey, you
stupid.
can do that on the FX9, so apparently it's coming, right?
Oh, really? Yeah. Good point. I mean, they could literally push a firmware update tomorrow to fix the menu system. Like, how much money does it
know.
cost to develop a new menu system?
I'm cautiously optimistic because I'm getting the OG hype that I got for when we heard all of the Canon rumors of like 8K and all of this bullshit, and I cried wolf
Yeah.
because there was no way Canon would actually do that, and it looks like Canon's actually doing that. So hey, who knows? If Sony does come out here and pops, they're not. Okay, sorry. There's no way in hell it's going to be a 16-bit fucking.
I wouldn't say
shit.
that. I wouldn't say that. If Sony, if any companies to do 16-bit RAW, it's Sony, and maybe it's 18-bit, dude. Maybe it might be 24-bit RAW.
Oh no, dude. My guess was they're gonna say it's 16-bit, and they just mean 1600 megabits per second. It's just their new code word. Like,
Yeah, maybe.
you know, that one, that's where my bullshit alarm's completely going off of. Like, and we'll see about if they mean, because that's the other shit. I've just learned to just hate stops of dynamic range because it means something completely different for every camera manufacturer.
Yeah.
And even within that camera manufacturer.
Yeah.
So they'll say this is 15 stops dynamic range, and they'll say the FX9 is 15 stops dynamic range, and the FX9 will still blow it away.
Yeah.
Because they're talking, oh, this is a full frame mirrorless stops, and that's cinema stops or some bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very true. It makes it's so it's like how they do like cores and fucking nanometers and CPUs.
Yeah.
It's just whatever they say. I guess you know.
Yeah.
But
So
I am
interested
hype
to
on
see
it.
it.
I am hype on it.
But at the same time, hey, dude, if this comes out for $3,000 as 4K 120 and then raw, like,
That's the thing. I want to see the price.
that's flippy screen or not. I hope it'd have a flippy screen, but even if it doesn't have a flippy screen, like, that's compelling.
See, to
But
me,
please put a fucking flippy screen
to
on it.
me, for a 12 megapixel sensor, it has to be under 3,000. Like it has to be like R6 pricing. If it's competing at an R5,
I do
I
think
think
they're
it's-
gonna make it 3,000, like exact.
yeah, and that's tough for me because I need a hybrid camera. I want like that high megapixel count because I do use it a lot as a photo camera. I'm still gonna land with Canon. I would like to see at least a 20 megapixel sensor, for me to cancel my pre-order and then go with this one. But we'll see. We really
That's
don't
fair.
even know.
I would still mostly, if I were to go this route, it would be a video camera. It wouldn't be a hybrid for me.
Yeah, and
I
honestly,
still got the Fujis, dude. I'm not gonna sell them. Like, there's the perfect hybrid camera in my opinion.
yeah, and that's a good point. Like I still have the R3, and I still have the EOS R. So who knows where that lands? I will say, if this camera does come out $2,500 and it does have 4K 120 and it does have 16-bit raw output,
that would be an instant buy, honest.
that would be really hard for me to pass up. That would be hard for me to pass up, especially since I have a
but that's
ton of
the
E-mount glass already.
And that's where we're gonna have to see footage from both of them, where it's like that would be really compelling because Canon right now is killing it, and if we actually have like true competition again, please,
Yeah.
because hey man,
That would be awesome.
Maybe I can put up with a shitty Sony body if I'm never touching it, but I get it 4K 120.
Yeah. And 16-bit raw.
Yeah, dude.
And a 600
'Cause
megabit
that's
bit
what
rate.
I know. That's what I know Sony for is the color science.
And
dude.
600 megabit bit rate where we have no idea goes anywhere. It's just here's 600 megabits of data.
If that is like 4K though, just your like if you can do 4K 24 at 600, that's nice.
That's so that's stupid. Like who needs that much? There's so much data.
Dude, you know.
No, but it is cool.
It's nice. It's nice.
It will look cool.
Speaking in Fuji land, where
That has to be
4K
raw. It has to
400,
be raw.
I'm just doing regular. That is my codec is 4K 400. It is
Yeah, how
nice.
about like the 2100 megabits per second on the 8K raw output? That's fucking. Who needs that? That's too much data, dude. That's just like raping your card. It's just like destroying your CFast card. You get 3 minutes of recording time on a gigabit or gigabyte card.
Yeah, dude, and then you put it up to your computer and just watch it cry.
And it just fucking explodes. Yeah, it just weeps. It just starts leaking tears. Cartesius says,
Camera land's so much fun right now.
it really is. I'm so hyped, dude. This is so cool. Let's see what Panasonic and Fuji and Nikon do. They're all gonna have some sort of answer.
I'm like secretly very. I still want Nikon to come back.
Me too.
Their entrance to mirrorless, it seemed cool. Honestly, like I thought the image quality of the footage looked really fucking good.
Yeah, no, their cameras are great and their lens selections are. It's a great ecosystem. They just do the weirdest shit, like a flip screen under the camera. Like, no, that's not where that goes. You dum dums. You're gonna put it on a tripod. What are you
Unless
doing?
you're fucking camera conspiracies, and now it's the best thing ever. Because he did okay. If you
Well, he
I
had
don't
to
know if you
buy
saw-
a fucking thing that put it on the side so it doesn't interfere with the tripod. And that's the answer. I guess that's the answer.
But did you see his first one though? With it did raise a weird, valid point, as dumb as it is.
What? What's the
That
point?
because it's underneath, it was very hard to, if you actually watch through it, it was very hard to tell when he was looking at the lens or just underneath the lens.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No, that
so
makes
you couldn't
sense.
See him, you couldn't see like the shift to the sides. You
No,
know what I
that
mean?
100% makes sense.
And like
Absolutely.
that does make sense, but you still got to put it on a fucking tripod.
Yeah, I know. It's still like it makes sense, but that's just a
But
justification.
it doesn't at the same time.
You're just justifying your weird placement of your screen. Just flip it to the goddamn side. We already know there's no patent. Like that's been defined. We know that there's no patent. They're just trying to be different from each other. So in my opinion, Nikon's got a really strong offering. They don't have the lenses right now for their new mount, and they need to get like a body like what Canon just did. That just throw everything at it. Everyone wants IBIS. Everyone wants your reliable autofocus. You have fine colors. Get some nice lenses and throw your
They have
screen
really
on the side.
nice colors, actually.
Yeah.
I really like their colors.
I
honestly.
like Nikon for like just natural looking images. You know, when there's no
Yeah.
processing involved. I
No,
think
like,
it looks
some of-
good.
Some of their log footage looks.
Now, what
like
would
it.
Nikon need to do for me to jump ship to Nikon? Would have to be a lot. I mean, it would have
Sure.
to be a lot for me to jump ship. But I mean, I'm
I mean,
agnostic.
'cause they-
Like I
they are
don't. I'm
still
not a
behind-
fanboy. I have no problem jumping ship to camera companies.
They're still behind Pana for me because like that Pana's honestly still up there. I know you don't like Pana colors. I'm more fine with them.
I don't mind
They're not
them. I'm more
they're not
autofocus
in the,
guy,
They're
though.
not
I
in the
need-
camp of like I like them, but they're. It is what it is. They're
Yeah.
fine.
I'm more of infuriated by their autofocus. That I need a
Yeah.
good autofocus system,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate.
If you could just like fix the autofocus.
But imagine, did they come
Pana-
out?
Dude, then you could go buy an SH1 with good autofocus, with dual pixel autofocus.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like this is
Perfect camera.
this is the time for Panasonic to invest all the money that they made on these cameras in their autofocus system and start like really competing. Just people
Invest all
don't
that
want to
Netflix
switch.
money.
Yeah, people
got
don't want to
that
switch
Netflix
camera.
money.
People don't want to switch their camera company. Like they want to stay with the camera brand. They want to stay with the lenses they have. But you have to offer the specs, and that's kind of what Sony's been doing for all these years. That's why there's this huge Sony fan base now that didn't exist
Hey.
5 years ago.
I mean, it's partially the specs, but it's not even so much the specs. Like, you gotta back it up. You gotta have you do have to have the image quality. You do actually have to have a body you want to use. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there is still more to that, but like, if every camera in the world has IBIS and you don't, it sucks.
Right. If every company can produce like fine autofocus and you can't do that, then people are left feeling like, fuck, I'm missing out because now I have to have a focus puller or I have to press some weird screen, and then no one wants to deal with that right now. We want, especially when you're competing against cell phones too, which are getting like, I take so much video and photos with my cell phone. They got a lot to compete with. But that's what makes it fun, and that's why you get the 16-bit RAW and 600 megabit bitrate. Like that's fucking amazing. Let's look up what is 16. Let's look up 16-bit
raw output,
monitor.
my dude.
I'm gonna put 16-bit reference monitor because I don't think a commercial 16-bit monitor exists. I could be wrong, but I just don't think one exists. Does bit depth matter? 8 versus 12 versus 16. Okay. Oh, there is a 32-bit color depth if you're a studio. All right, let's see here. This is an EZO. Here, I'll put this up on the screen. Let's see. Does it have 16-bit color depth? It's an HDR 16 by 10 IPS EZO color edge. Rec 709. It's 1080. Where is the bit depth? Let's see. 16-bit. Okay, it's got a 16-bit lookup table. All right, so you can get an EZO Color Edge 24-inch monitor for around $2,000. HDR. It's only 1080. So all right, let's see what the 4K one. Let's see what the 4K one looks like. So you can view your images on a reference monitor. We know this. Do they have a 4K option here? Let's see.
A lot of them are still 10-bit.
The 4K.
Yeah, monitors and stuff. I don't even know Photoshop. So it's 16-bit, bro.
I know it's so wacky. Yeah, does a 4K 60? It has to exist if the 1080 exists. Well, we know it does exist in a reference monitor. You might have to pay a couple grand for it.
Okay, you can run it through um Resolve.
Okay. Okay, here's a great monitor.
Because 16, okay, according to Resolve, that's what the Alexa uses at 444.
Oh, okay. That's good. All right.
So
an Alexa
yeah, I'm
and
sure
a little
my
mirrorless body.
my $3,000 mirrorless camera is gonna have Alexa color space.
You can really
dude.
resolve those fucking G Master lenses. That's pretty cool. All right, so
Who
you
needs cook glass, dude? Fuck
I know.
that. I got Shima.
you got a G Master for
I got a
literally
Sigma contemporary lens.
Yeah, you got a
dude.
Sigma Art. All right, so this
Not
color
even Sigma
edge.
Art, Sigma contemporary.
You
Come
got a
on, man.
color edge 27-inch 16:9 wide gamut 4K IPS monitor by EZO for less than $2,000. That gets you 16-bit color. So if you want to view your 16-bit footage, you can do so under $2,000. So that's good to know. And you have to do it through Resolve. I would imagine Premiere has a 16-bit option, or they'll add it or something.
Oh, sorry, but RE Raw itself takes a 16-bit signal and then puts it down to a 12-bit.
Oh, so you
2.
can't edit in a 16-bit. You have to edit in a 12. Okay.
But hey, dude, we're getting 16-bit raw output.
Banding is a thing of the past, which was a real big problem with Sony's. They banned it really, really bad. That 8-bit sensor is so terrible. It is
Yeah,
ugly.
Panasonic V-RAW is 12-bit. I know Canon RAW is 10 and 12-bit.
Yeah.
RE RAW ends up being 12-bit plus 14 stops.
Yeah.
Even Cinema DNG for Blackmagic's 12.
Yeah, I've never heard of 16-bit.
Red Recode can do 8, 10, or 16
Okay. I mean, cinema
for
cameras.
downstream grading.
You're essentially... Oh, okay.
And then Sony RAW technically can go up to 16-bit using a compressed RAW format.
All right, so maybe it's like
XOCN.
Maybe it's like a 12-bit then. Maybe it's just
Yeah.
a spec. I mean, it might be like a weird, like... You're getting like a weird 16-bit, but it's technically like a 12-bit. We'll see. I'm fascinated now. I've never heard of 16-bit until just now. I didn't know that
literally
existed.
only on the Venice F65, F5, and F55.
So it's only a Sony sensor thing, really.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
It's only on the Sony sensors, and it's only on the the cheapest one of these cameras is $50,000.
Yeah. I shot my whole life 20 pic, 1 selfie, 3 YouTube videos, but hey, 8K views, not bad. There you go. All right. That's
I just love the fact that this is a thing apparently.
I know.
It's like, yeah, dude.
Well, it's a
like-
Sony thing. Leave it to Sony.
I mean, it is a Sony thing, but it's like, yeah, dude, but $3,000 cameras using the same codec as a fucking Venice.
Imagine they actually do that. That would be
Yeah,
incredible.
I would buy one in a heartbeat. Like, of course, but like,
That would be
how
incredible.
can you make money doing that?
I don't know. My question would be is like,
Hey, here's my $150,000 cinema camera that you can't even buy. You can only loan from Sony. But hey, it's got the same codec.
and they're saying it doesn't overheat because like with Canon, what they can say is like, yeah, we're giving you cinema quality, but you can't really use it as long as you can for cinema where you can set it up in a studio. It's got fans running. So that makes sense in terms of like
And if that's
cannibalizing.
And if that's output, say they're working with Ninja or someone like that to come out with a Ninja 7
Mm-hmm.
that works, or Sony branded Ninja 7. Atomos, please.
Yeah.
Because like if you could actually do that, you don't have to worry about overheating, and now you have a Sony Venice
Yeah.
for $3,000. That's where I'm like that's never gonna happen.
Yeah,
But
that
if it
sounds
does, I'm buying one in a heartbeat.
it sounds too good to be true. But I mean, this is the time to do it. Canon did it. Sony can do it. They can just give us throw the whole fucking thing at it. Throw the kitchen sink at it. And then let's see what Panasonic has. Let's see what these other companies
By
have.
the way, also the recorder to actually use this format on Sony film cameras is this fucking big. So if you could buy that for your mirrorless camera,
Oh my god. Doesn't even make any sense.
Dude, no, it's the size of like 4 V mounts, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And they're saying it doesn't overheat.
Well, yeah, dude, all you have to do is stick 4 V mounts on the back of your mirrorless camera.
Yeah, you just need to like a fucking like uranium processing unit. All right, let's close it up. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you guys next week, next Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Yes, I think next Tuesday. I'm pretty sure we're coming back at you next week. If you have any news, let us know down in the chat. Make sure you send it to us. Thank you to everyone over on Twitch that have been watching. And make sure you hit up the website and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Radio, Spotify. We're over on Spotify now. You can catch the podcast everywhere. All right, is this the recorder? Or is this what is this?
That's the recorder on an F-55.
Oh my God.
Then look at it with putting SSDs into it.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that's how you get 16-bit RAW, dude.
That's all you need. Duh. Oh my God. That's fucking awesome, actually.
Kinda, yeah.
That's fucking
And it's got an XLR on it.
amazing. Yeah. That is
Oh.
fucking incredible.
I mean, if they made a mini one of these that actually did that and worked with that RAW format, fuck.
I know, that would be so sick. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen a Sony Venice.
It's just a giant cinema cam. They're fucking big boys.
Yeah, and I know one of the new movies was just recorded on it, if I'm not mistaken. I have to check that
They're
out.
fucking big boys.
I would still go Ari though.
Oh yeah. But the Venice is pretty cool. It has a lot of cool stuff for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up later. I mean, I would assume like they're all using Sony sensors anyway.
Pretty for the most part, yeah. I think
that everyone uses a Sony sensor of some sort.
Fuji has been working with Samsung for a long time, but I don't think they've ever put out anything. There's, X-Trans is still Sony,
Yeah.
which Bayer is still Sony, and everyone and their mother uses a Bayer sensor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can buy the Sony Venice from three places, excuse me. BH and New York. You actually have to go to New York to pick it up.
Yeah, they do that with some of their products.
And a place in Austin, Texas, and a place in St. Louis,
And
Minnesota.
bring a big deep credit card. And like a SWAT team to follow you, because there's a lot of money you're carrying around. Imagine breaking that camera.
Oh, dude.
All right,
No.
let's get out of here. All right, everyone. We'll catch you guys later.